Consistency is important for relationships. And how you are in the beginning of a relationship, you should be throughout the relationship. Otherwise, it makes the other person doubt you, have lack of confidence in the relationship. It makes them feel that you don't want them anymore. So you have to evaluate how you are in a relationship as a whole and stay and stick with that. If you're constantly talking to the person, constantly messaging them every day, if you both are, always talking in the beginning of the relationship, that's what the other person expects every day of the relationship. And the moment that you stop giving that consistency, they're going to doubt the relationship. They're going to doubt you. They're going to think you don't want them anymore, that you've lost interest in them. So you have to have that balance in the beginning of the relationship that doesn't cause any doubt, that doesn't cause stress, that doesn't make the other person feel that you've lost interest and you found interest in somebody else. So don't be inconsistent with your consistency. However you're showing up in the beginning of the relationship, that's how you should be throughout the relationship. That's the thing. And that causes a lot of problems when you don't. And this is with anybody. I'm not talking just males. I'm not talking just females. I'm talking with everybody. The effort you put in the beginning, that other person expects that. And whatever that other person's doing to the relationship as well, how would you feel if all of a sudden they talk to you every day, you're talking throughout the whole day, and then all of a sudden, silence for 2 days? Or the messaging is very short, or they hardly talk to you at all during the day and at night when they have free time. That makes the other person think that you're talking to somebody else, that something else is important. When in the beginning, you were basically constantly on them, talking to them. You have to find the balance. You have to make sure you're not giving too much in the beginning, because the other person expects that same consistency throughout the whole relationship. So when you're silent for hours on end, it makes that person think you're interested in somebody else. It makes that person doubt the relationship. It makes that person reconsider you. Because one day you're talking the other person's ear off, for example, or texting the other person's ear off, And then all of a sudden the next day, barely talk at all, barely interact with each other, and it seems to continue. So you have to find the balance when you're in a relationship. If you constantly talk, and realize that your pattern is you stop doing that after a while, that there'll be hours on end you don't say anything, then you need to have that also in the beginning of the relationship. That way that other person expects that out of you. And that's something that causes issues and conflicts and doubts and makes the relationship not work. You have to remember, they're not there with you. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know if you're just sitting there watching TV, watching a movie, or that you're eating. They don't know that stuff. You could tell them, I'm just sitting here watching TV. Now whether they believe you or not is another story, but, that's why you gotta be consistent. If you're consistent in the beginning, you gotta stay that way throughout the whole thing. That's your doing. You have to reassure the other person that they're the only ones you're interested in, that they're the only ones you want to talk to. So that's why I have problems too myself with those that they show one way in the beginning of a relationship or in the beginning of showing interest, and then as days go by, it just dies. It's like it's barely there. So, just find, if you're one of those that do something like that, where you're constantly, texting, messaging all day, all night till it's time for bed or whatever, and then all of a sudden you stop because you're busy watching TV, you're busy eating, or whatever, Don't make the other person doubt your intentions, and make sure your intentions are known too. What do you intend to happen in the relationship? What are your goals with this relationship? Are you wanting commitment, or are you just looking for fun? Be honest. Why waste time? Be honest with what you want. And if that other person isn't interested in what you're interested in, then just move on and find somebody that is. Why waste time? Why waste each other's time? If you don't want a commitment, tell them you don't want a commitment. Don't make them think. Don't lie to them. Be honest. And who knows, maybe they just want to have fun for right now until they find somebody they do want to have a commitment with. You never know. So, that's my advice for this Wednesday.